Hello teacher, my name is Jose Manzano and today I'm gonna start my presentation about CDLC project description. So first we're gonna start with the object definition, which is basically like we're gonna define like the type of objects that our project will be have. So in this case, we're gonna set like 6 of them, which is patron ID, name, string, address, phone number, email, and late fee amount. So in this case, patron ID is gonna be integer, the type integer. It's gonna be like generated automatically with a code. Also, you're gonna verify that it's gonna be like repetitive like the other patrons ID users. The name gonna be string. This is because it allows like have different amount of characters until 250, 255 without restrictions. And the same as well with the address, the same as well with phone number, email, and also for the late fee amount, we're gonna use double because in this case we have to do certain operations, and we're gonna use 2 decimals. So in this case, we are going to use this kind of. So in the functional requirements, we're gonna define the functional requirement of the system. So each part of the CRUD. So okay, in this part, I'm gonna explain you each part that the CRUD, which means create, read, edit, and delete. So in this case, we're gonna have like name, address, and late fee amount. Also the rules, each ID should be generated by automatically and it should not be repetitive. And also the valid fee is between $0 and $250. Also after that, the creation, we're gonna receive a confirmation message, and also our system should allow us to upload multiple patrons from a file. The system must allow to the librarian retrieve and view the stored data. So in this case, we could watch like each data. We could watch like the patron ID, the name, the address, and late fee amount. So in this case, we are gonna have like certain kind of pop-up to show up this kind of data. The system must allow us modify like each part of the data that we have. So in this case, is name, address, late fee amount. Also, we have to validate that the fee should be between $0 and $250. And also after we finish, we should receive a message of confirmation. For delete, so in this case, we are going to delete based on their IDs. So we based on their IDs, we can confirm that we're deleting the right patron. Is the same like the update part of our CRUD. Finally, we're gonna do the last part of our system, which is gonna be like load patrons from a file. So in this system, in this part, we could like load certain kind of registers from a file. So we could like just select the address of our file, and then we could like submit it, and it could like save the information automatically. And of course, using our validations that we talked about before. So now we're going to talk about the non-functional requirements. So this part is basically if we want to escalate our system, or if we want like become our system bigger and for more kind of users. In this part, we're going to use the logic of usability, scalability, and maintainability. For usability, basically what we say is that it should have like responsive GUIs for multiple devices. It should have different languages for different kind of users. For scalability, it should have like millions of registers that we could upload it. And for maintainability, we say that it should have certain modular architecture, a version control, and clean and document code. Now we're gonna talk about data storage. In this part, we have 3 sections of data storage. So first we're gonna talk about the memory storage, the file base, and the SQL. So in the memory storage, basically what we say is that all the data that we are collecting in our system, we are saving in a list, which is a kind of data structure that Java provides. After we test and everything goes right, we move to a file-based storage. In a file-based storage, basically we save all our data in file and we grab all our data in this file. So this file gonna be kind of txt file, and from a class that it says that is the file loader, we could reading, writing, and do the rest of the operations that we're doing. So after we test that and everything goes right, we're gonna move on to a SQL database. In this case, I create the database already. So first we can see the patronage is a type integer and also the primary key. And also we have name, address, phone, email, and let. So right now we're gonna start with the UI layout. So first, as you can see, here's a little menu that it says add new patron, update new patron, and delete all patron, and display all patrons. So when we select add new patron, a pop-up should be like display, and we will be able to type our name, address, phone number, email, and the late fee. So for update patron, we should be able to select each patron by ID and delete it by ID. It's the same as the delete part that basically we delete based on their IDs. And finally, it should give us a confirmation pop-up if we want like continue or not. So it prevents accidental data loss. So right now we're gonna start doing the user stories. That is basically a story that each user is facing in each part of our system. So in this case, we're gonna have a patron of create. The user should be facing, or the librarian should be facing, is that form should be displayed with the name, address, phone, email, and the fine. And the fine should be validate between 0 and 250. And after that, we store that information or database that is SQL, and a message of success should be displayed. So in this case, the user will know that everything is correct. So for the point of update, so the librarian wants to update certain user. So the librarian should be select or enters the patron ID. The system should be record the details and validate. If the ID is not valid, it should be give us a pop-up saying that the ID is not valid. If it's right, the user will be see the information and it could be update. In the next one, we're gonna see like a remove patron. So it's gonna be like similar like the update. So in this case, we're gonna like select by ID. We select that by ID, and then after that, we should see a successful message. And finally, I add a possible option that is generate reports. So the librarian is facing an issue that he wants generate reports based on the patron finds or different kind of data. So the system should be able to give us possible reports based on certain amount of finds, the total number of patrons, or the total number of the finds that we have. So finally here we have our UML diagram. So this is the general one. So the librarian have access to our patron, update, to add patron, update patron, delete patron, and generate reports. So in this add report, we can see like our system starts here. The user select add new report. We are inside in the system. We give them an input. He enters the patron detail and we validate. If the data is correct, we continue. If not, we are here in this booklet and we cannot advance. So finally, we have the display confirmation and end. So it's kind of similar for update. So here we have to select the update part, then we prompt the ID, then we enter the ID, then we give that record and we validate. And if it's validate, we continue. We validate the data right here. And if the data is right, we update in the SQL database. If not, we are in this booklet right here. And finally, we give them a display validation. Here we have the delete patron. So we start here. We select the delete patron. We start with prompt ID. We enter the ID or we select the ID. So if the record is not found, we are in this booklet right here. If it's right, we give them a display confirmation that is deleted already. And finally, I have here the possible generate report that starts, the program starts, the system prompts the report, the actor choose the report type. Here, right here, we execute the SQL, the query run in the rows. So if an error happen here, it's gonna be a buckle right here and we cannot continue. But if the SQL went right, we give them the results and when display in our canvas. And finally, we end with the report. So that's a quick summary about of my project. So thank you very much.